All right, what's up, fellas? So I'm here with a buddy of mine from SoCal. He was at RBET New York, and he did pretty well. He went 6-2, just didn't make it in because of tiebreakers. Sucks, but he had a really interesting deck, and I think, as everybody knows, RBET's top cut had like a bunch of spicy lists, and this would have been spicier than all of them combined. All right, so what was your name, and what did you play?
Yeah, my name is Homam JAMAL, and I played Fish OTK, a variant of Fish OTK. I call it Teva Fish. So I'll just get right into it.
All right.
Starting with the monsters. I play 3 of the main boss monsters: Super Ancient, Deep Sea, Coelacanth. Really the combo Coelacanth.
I'm just teasing.
No, you're right. Really the combo starter for the whole deck. I'll show you some combos at the end of this video.
Yeah, basically that monster gets summoned successfully. It's pretty much game every time.
Yeah, summons 5 fish onto the field. This is another superstar of the deck.
So Teva, what does that do?
Teva. So basically, if it's normal summoned successfully, it's a threatening roar. Your opponent can't attack next turn. And you can really abuse this effect with frogs. Like you can loop it with swap frog and do other crazy stuff. And yeah, and the point of this deck, really, just to give you some background, is a lot of the Fish OTK decks are kind of turbo. This is kind of like I would say a stall deck until you can crack at them. So this plays really well.
Yeah, that makes sense. If you're Teva looping them, and then you just kill them.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so Oystermeister.
Key combo piece for the fish. A lot of people play 2 Oystermeister, but after playtesting this deck for so long, there are a lot more combo routes open when you have 3 in the deck. And the more pieces you draw, the less combos you have when you actually go off with the fish. So if I draw an Oystermeister, having 2 in the deck is still okay. So going to the normal frogs: 3 swap frog, 3 substitute, 2 treeborn, 2 dupe, and then 1 unifrog. Pretty standard, pretty minimal engine, but swap frog is pretty insane with Teva. I can show you some stuff at the end of the video, but you can basically just loop it over and over. Also play 2 Fishborg.
Broken.
Another, you can do some dream frog stuff sometimes, but the main point is this basically.
Yeah, you're special summoning Fishborg from the deck and then you're just going crazy.
Exactly, and then a couple of 1-ofs. I play 2 1-of fishes. I play Metabo Shark and Royal Swamp Eel. This one's pretty standard. It's a 4-star tuner for this combo. But this is a lot of people like the 1400 attack guy, or James Ark plays the 1400 attack guy. I actually prefer this guy. I like the fact that he baits out bottomless, and this effect is super relevant. When it's late in the game, you haven't drawn fish, and there are too many fish in your graveyard, this shuffles back 2 fish and turns back on your combo. So really important that you play this version.
It's many like Transmigration Prophecy for your cards to get them back in the deck, just to combo with the big fish.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
And then I play 1 Battle Fader and 1 Gores.
Just trying to live.
Exactly. Part of the stall kind of characteristic of the deck. I was playing 2 Battle Fader, but I was actually really afraid of Devastation Virus this weekend.
Oh, that makes sense.
I played Gores instead.
Yeah, and Deck Debbie was everywhere.
Yeah.
It was everywhere.
Yeah, and Deck Debbie, I made it so this deck doesn't actually lose that bad to Deck Debbie because of the Tevas and stuff like that. Alright, that's all the monsters. Moving on to the spells: 3 Murray of Greed, one of the best cards in the deck. Shuffle back all your dead cards, shuffle back all the combo pieces. 2 Gold Sark. You either search for the Coelacanth or you search for Trunade. You either search for the Coelacanth or you search for Giant Trunade or Heavy Storm.
Whatever part you need to pop off.
Exactly, whichever part you need to pop off. Really good card. I never really side it out. I never really side out any of these cards. I don't even side out 3 Oystermeister.
That's interesting. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people, when they see these kinds of cards in their deck, they're like, okay, automatic side out. But you're like, no, this is like really crucial to the engine.
Yeah.
I need to play these cards. I need to see them games 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Because it'll get you to your side deck.
Exactly, and the deck is actually quite insane if you see the fish. If you don't see the fish, the deck has the ability to stall you out until you deck out. But the sooner you see the fish, the higher the probability you're going to win the game. So you can't side these out.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And then I play one pot of avarice. This is an emergency pot of avarice. You don't have to play this because when you go off and you win. But sometimes you get backed into a corner. Sometimes I have the fish in my hands and I drop it into a couple of back row to clear the back row, and then just pot of avarice everything back. But it's just an emergency.
Okay, so you're not really using it to plus. You're using it as a way to re-put, like anytime you need to push into something and you know it's going to get stopped, you have your avarice just to get you back in the game and put your win conditions back in the deck.
Yeah, that's the main idea, but there are multiple games where I just used it as a pot of greed when I'm going off with substitute.
Yeah, pot of greed is pretty good. Yeah. Pot of greed is pretty good. All right.
So traps. And then traps. So I play 3 Threatening Roar, 2 Wabaku, so 5 stall traps. This is really important to basically stall your opponent until you have game, but also this helps you set up or extend your Teva loop combos with swap frog. So at some point they're going to get rid of your swap frog because they notice that you're looping. And if you have another swap frog in your hand, if you just normal summon the swap frog and bounce the Teva back and set the Wabaku, you're back in the loop.
Back in the loop, yeah. Baby.
It's actually pretty insane. And then I played 2 traps done, just the same reason why I played Heavy Storm and Trunade. The point of the deck is to stall them out until you have one of these pieces along with the fish, and then you just kill them. And there's a lot of different combo routes you can do. I can show off a couple at the end of the video, but let me show off the...
So it is also worth noting that you're playing 3 Roar and 2 Wabaku, not the other way around. GBs prefer these decks to play Wabaku instead of Roar. So
yeah, exactly.
And GBs were everywhere.
Which was really surprising to me that I didn't play against one.
You didn't play any?
I didn't play any.
Oh
GBs.
Man, I played against 3.
Oh my god. Yeah. Side deck, so I side in the Caiuses. I think Caius is a really good card. There's like so much potential that these should go in instead of Trapstun, honestly. Sometimes I feel like this is a much more versatile card. He's always going against Vanity's Fiend if I think I'm going to see Vanity's Fiend. It's just such a versatile card to get rid of what they're bringing in against you. Because you play the Wabakus and Threatening Roars, Vanity's Fiend and Fossil Dino are not that scary anymore, because you can just set a monster, set Wabaku or Threatening Roar, and then just sack for a Caius, and then now you're back at him. So, did you ever fear that, like, because pulling the rug's not very good against your deck, but like people see frogs and they're like, oh my god, I gotta put pulling the rug, and now like you're making their deck or their side deck, their inferior side deck choice not so bad. Did you ever feel like that conflict? Yeah, I do see it every once in a while, that they think that pulling the rug is good against my deck. It's not that bad, honestly. It hits Teva.
Yeah, but that's it. Like they're thinking that you're going super aggro when reality they got to stop the big fish.
Yeah, I kind of laugh in my mind when I see it games 2 and 3, but it does happen. So
do you
totally valid.
Do you, if you see it game 2, do you ever take them out?
Yeah,
just make them have more dead cards in there.
Exactly, and I have alternate options for Vanity Fiends out. So I'll go through them. But I do 2 Snowman Eater.
Yeah, I like that.
Honestly, these didn't go in against Blackwings.
Really?
These have been dead in my hand a lot when playing Fish because I'm stalling so much, and then they have an opportunity to heavy me, and they go to the grave. So these actually go in against like the hero beats. This goes in against like all the anti-meta decks and stuff like that.
Gladiator Beast.
Gladiator Beast. Actually doesn't go in against Blackwings, honestly.
That's funny.
Yeah. 1 Cyber Dragon and 1 Chimera Tech. I only want to see 1 Cyber Dragon if I want to go off with it. I don't have space in my extra deck, so I just.
I was gonna say, usually when you see the Chimera Tech in the side deck, that's when you know extra deck space is tight.
Yeah, I really don't have any space. And honestly, it wasn't that good against machines. I played against Flip Machina twice. I lost against one of them. And I felt like this wouldn't have helped me at all in this deck. So this is probably coming out after this. The extra Battle Fader, I take out the Wabakus if I see GBs. I put this in. I put these in against
definitely
GBs. So these are my alternative outs to Vanity's Fiend. But I'll tell you right now, the best out to Vanity's Fiend is Book of Moon. Book of Moon is extremely versatile, and the reason why I say this is you can not only Book of Moon or Vanity's Fiend and then go off and win the game, but if you need an extra monster to sack If you need an extra monster to sack with your Coelacanth, you could bring back, if you have 2 Treeborns, you could bring back Treeborn, Bookimoon your Treeborn, bring back Treeborn, and then sack for the Coelacanth. So really versatile card to in game 2 and 3. I love seeing at least.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You never see people doing that.
Yeah.
Because most Treeborn decks don't play Book of Moon, but when they do, I feel like that's a very niche interaction that people don't really think about.
Yeah, no, I absolutely
That's
agree.
sick.
I side 1 MST. It goes in pretty rarely. I would say I side out my trap stuns and I put it in MST against like the Frog Hero matchup because I know they always set 1, and when I go off, I just like pop the back row and then bring back the Treeborn and go off. So I think that in some situations the MST is better in the main deck than the extra trap stuns. It also takes care of like Royal Oppression and stuff, but I don't really care because I mean you're usually getting heavied or trunated before I go off. Like I don't even care about Masker Restrict, honestly. Yeah. I care about Royal Tribute. This will go in against me.
Who nobody plays that deck, right?
Yeah, this goes in against any Vanity Fiend deck. You just take the Vanity Fiend,
attack them, and then tribute.
Yep, tribute for Teva, or you can, or if you Wabaku the previous turn, you can take their Vanity Fiend and then sack for the Coelacanth and win the game. Under Vanity
You
Fiend.
can take their Substitute and do crazy unfair things.
Yeah, my body. is a
body.
Shield. Okay, so great against Bottomless, very versatile card, but mainly only goes in against Fairy. This deck has a lot. This deck is very strong, but it has a lot of auto lose matchups. Not a lot, but it auto loses to Fairy. It's probably like a 25-75 matchup.
Yeah, it's rough.
It's really rough. But this beats Herald of Orange. So you go off with the camp, they Herald of Orange, and then you have the body.
Yeah, and they can't even like chain another Herald. It's just
it's great.
done.
And then the Burial. So this comes in sometimes when I see DD Crow, but a lot of the times, because you play Wabaku Threading Roar, it's not that bad to have both of your Treeborns removed. You can really just play the stall game. You can even like summon a Oystermeister. This is something that happens a lot, but you can summon an Oystermeister, Wabaku the Oystermeister, and then sack for a Teva. They can't attack next turn, and you get a fish token with the Oystermeister, and that sets you up for the Coelacanth play. So there are a lot of ways you can, a lot of plan
get it
Bs.
out.
Yeah, there are a lot of plan Bs to get Coelacanth out. Yeah, that's this side deck. And then finally the extra deck. I play 3 Armory Arm.
Jesus.
It comes up. I mean, it comes up sometimes, but there are situations where.
I mean, it's got to come up often enough for you to be siding Chimera Tech. And you're like,
armor.
yeah, I need these 3 Armory Arms.
Yeah, and there are some situations where they're playing around like Mistworm and Colossal Armory Arm so hard that I just put 3 Armory Arms on a Coelacanth
And it's
just burn
game.
Yeah. So like there are alternative wins with triple Armory Arm for sure. I play the 1 Cataster. Barely comes out. If I would cut a card, I would cut Cataster, but there are situations against Fairies and Lightsworn where this comes out. But Lightsworn is almost a free matchup. They deck out like 99.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's
Yeah.
tough. I was playing Frogs against you and I was decking out, so
Yeah.
it's tough.
Yeah, this card is insane. This card is a key combo piece for a like 8,000 plus auto combo with Coelacanth that I can show you guys. Play Goyo Guardian. He's really important for an easy combo. Flambeau or Rayquaza, you can do crazy plays to attach Armory Arms to this and swing over Amaryllises.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
there are certain combo routes that you can utilize this.
I mean, Urquiza's double Armory Arm over Amaryllis' game.
is game.
That's game.
Brionic. Brionic is really important for certain combo routes where you want to just bounce 1 back row and then Colossal Armory Arm your opponent. There are also situations where you can set it up where you have like 79, and if you have enough cards in your hand, just like bounce the whole field. So definitely really important. And he's water, you want to synchro with it. Black Rose Dragon, very rarely comes out. He comes out sometimes during like OTK plays. Very rarely will I blow up the board, but you can go like turn 1, set Oystermeister, set Trapstun, set Wabaku, and then flip Wabaku, and then flip and then normal summon the Murray, and then blow up the field, and that has happened a lot. it happens sometimes. 8 stars, I play Red Dragon. Really important for like the 200 extra damage in some situations when you're swinging per game. Stardust Dragon, double Colossal. Colossal Army Arm is one of the most common combos. Colossal double Army Arm happens extremely often as well. Colossal Army Arm Mistworm over Duplock happens a lot. So you need the extra Colossals. Sometimes you need 2 Colossals when they have Necrogarden in the graveyard, so you can go double Colossal Army Arm, so you can get over the
Necrogarden.
Yeah.
Jeez.
There are a million combos.
The fact that you can that you can just make that is pretty crazy
you can make
too.
basically any board. Thought Ruler, another 8 play for OTKs, and then finally Mistworm, one of the most important cards in the deck for sure.
All right. So, do you want to go over a couple combos? I don't know how much time we have exactly, but we can.
It's okay. We can do 2 main combos, and then you guys can basically figure it out. This sounds like a little nerdy, but I made like a PowerPoint with all of the combos that I'll share one day. But I'll do the basic 8,000 bounce your field combo that I did to people.
So this is so you summon Coelacanth, special summon. Well, you get special summon the fourth card, right?
Yeah. So you summon Coelacanth,
Double
you discard
oyster.
a card, and you get to fill your board with fish. And this is a pretty easy one. There are ways to do it with this instead, but this is the route I usually go to if all the pieces are in the deck. If I drew this or if this is in the grave, I can do this version.
Yeah, and pivot. Okay.
And pivot, but you make an 8 here. And at this point, it can be as low as the damage. The 8-star can be anything, even as low as Stardust. Because if you choose Stardust, it'll be 8,000 exact. But I usually choose Thought Ruler if they have Gores or Colossal Fighter. But you can choose any 8-star. Once that happens, Oystermeister will generate a token.
That's a cool token.
And then you discard 1 card to bring back Oystermeister, and then you
Fishborg.
or Fishborg, sorry, and then you sink for 5.
Yeah, so that Oystermeister token's a level 1 fish with 0 attack, 0 defense.
Yeah, level 1 fish, water, 0 attack, 0 defense. And when he gets sent, he makes 1. So
yeah, and it's important that it comes out that it's water because Fishborg can only synchro with other water monsters. So Oystermeister goes to the graveyard and wasn't by battle, so it gets another token.
And I summon this thing, and this thing says when a level 3 or lower water monster goes to the grave, he goes to 3,000 attack.
Okay, so he's not at 3,000 yet, but he's about to be.
He's about to be. So I discard 1 more card. So keep in mind that this specific combo takes 2 extra cards after the Coelacanth discard.
Okay.
And this is something that you always have to keep in your mind: how many cards you have in your hand after you go off with the fish, because that will decide your combo route. Colossal Army you basically need 0 cards. But you discard another card, you bring back Fishborg, and then this is a 7, so 8, 9, and this makes
Ooh, baby. Trishula.
And then this allows you, so if you heavy stormed or trinated, you're fine. But if you trap stunned, it's even better because you bounce all their monsters, and then this is
And they can't Gores.
Yeah, exactly.
So this right here is 82, but if it was a Stardust, 8K
if it was a
still.
Stardust, it's 8K
So it's 25,
still.
25,
So you can choose
3K.
your 8-star here. Yeah, definitely you can choose it. And then that was basically one of the most complicated combos. But if you can see how easy it is to make a Colossal and Army Arm. See, this is Colossal Fighter, this is an 8.
And you just discard a card. Special summon.
This is Colossal Double Army Arm, right?
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, you want double Colossal Army Arm, this is double Colossal Army Arm, right?
Oh my god.
So that's basically a summary of how you combo with this deck. Yeah.
That's insane. What put you onto this? So like, did you just read Teva one day and you're like, I'm going to break this card?
I actually, when I first read Teva, I knew it was good. I knew it was good. I didn't know what it was good in. I tried it in Monarchs. It was decent. I even tried it in this version of Monarchs where that played 3 Lad, 3 Teva, and Dark Monsters and Chaos Sorcerer. Because you have all the lights and darks. But I ended up going back to Fish because at first I was playing Fish for fun. I always played Fish back in the day when Edison was around, so I decided to revisit it. And then, when I topped RBET Merino Valley, I realized how broken Threatening Roar was. And once I made that connection, and I'm like, oh, Threatening Roar is broken, this card must be broken, and I started playing a version of Fish that basically played 3 Threatening Roar, 3 Wabaku, and then I finally added in the 3 Tevas, and it basically like connected everything together. Like, I don't know.
Beautiful symphony.
Yeah, like Fish didn't have the stall power to be good, but Teva kind of put it all together. Teva was like the missing piece to stall enough to be in situations 90% of the time where you are making the plays and you are trap stunning them and sacking them for game and stuff like that. So that's how I came up with the deck basically. Yeah.
Dang. All right.
Yeah.
What were your matchups? Do you happen to remember them off the top of your head?
I honestly went through almost every matchup. So, you know, I played against Lightsworn round 1. Lucky me. Yeah.
Free win.
Yeah.
For this deck.
Yeah, and then I played.
Did you deck him out both games or?
Both games. He had a couple cards left in his deck, but I ended up killing him with the Fish both games.
2-0. All right.
And then next I played against Blackwings, and then that was also a 2-0. And it was, you know, he didn't know what Colossal Army Arm was, and then game 2 I double Colossal Army Arm. Because he thought he could play around it and stuff like that.
Adorable.
Yeah. Round 3, I lost to Flip Machina, maining Crow. Believe it or not, I got crowed game 1 and won that game. But I ended up losing game 2 to Vanity's Fiend straight up, and then losing game 3 to Vanity's Fiend. Vanity's Fiend is a huge problem. That's another thing about
just didn't
deck.
draw the
outs.
outs.
There's like clear weaknesses to this deck. Vanity's Fiend, Christia, and Herald of Orange are the biggest weaknesses.
Yeah, but fairies aren't real. Like, they're real, but nobody plays them. And
Yeah.
you just hope you're never going to see it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, Monarchs is like a 75-25 matchup. Eurofrogs is a 75-25 matchup. Bayou is like a, I don't know, 60-40, and Blackwings is
Lightsworn's like a 90-10.
Yeah, it's a 90-10. So you have good matchups across the board, but you have really hard matchups. Like, if you play against fairies, you have to hope, like, they summon a Shining Angel, and then you just kill them right there. And then this deck has the power to kill you on turn 1. You can like discard the special swap frog, discard Fishborg, special Fishborg, double sack for the fish, and win the game. So,
It's just disgusting.
Yeah, you could.
What was your other loss? Because I think you were 6-1 right up till round 8, and then it was round 8 that you lost.
Against Vayu Turbo, he drew really well. He like Devied
and
me.
milled everything.
Yeah, no, he like, you know, he had Devi when he needed to. He like Devied me game 2, turn 1, and then and he drew really well game 1. He like killed me in 1 turn, so there's nothing I could really do sometimes. But it's okay because I don't know. I played against like a ton of other matchups. I played against a Hero Frog guy. I won game 3. Frogs is a very easy matchup. You just Colossal Armor.
When this variant of Frogs definitely has a little bit of a boost against the other Frog decks, because their power plays, their strong plays are good against like regular decks with like back row and everything, because they can dwindle you down. But when you're just like Teva looping them, it's like they don't get value out of anything, and then you just kill them.
Yeah, this deck is so strong that you can have actual game plans against decks. So like my game plan against Monarchs is you set up a Teva loop, they have to Caius the Swap Frog, and then you Colossal Armor.
And they never know to Caius the Swap Frog. That's the problem.
Until they realize, until a couple
too
turns
late.
pass. Until a couple turns pass. And then they're like, I have to get rid of the swap.
But that's one of the pros of playing a deck that's not super popular or even played at all by anybody, because they don't understand what like choke point they're being forced into until it's too late, and then they're like, okay, well, I hope I remember this is for game 2.
I'm gonna be honest, almost every single one of my opponents just didn't know
what the point of your deck was.
Didn't know what was happening
until it was too late. Out of curiosity, what do you happen to know how many game 1s you lost? Did you lose a single game 1?
I probably lost 1 or 2 game 1s the whole
tournament. Dang.
Yeah, this deck very rarely loses game 1s.
Nice. All right. Well, thank you very, very much for your time. I mean, we already knew this deck was good going over to New York because he plays it at Card Addiction, and I mean we've got a locals going on right now, and I'm pretty sure in just today's local where we only had like 15-20 players, we had 7 RBET toppers in today's tournament. So we gotta see if we got Paul. I don't think he was playing Paul Wings today, but I mean that's another RBET topper. We have RBET finalists right over there. Like, it was insane. We had 2 RBET finalists in today's tournament, so and then Homam myself. So yeah, this is definitely took it to some good competition, did well, and then he just refined it, and then took it across the country to New York and performed really, really well. Just tiebreakers didn't work out his way, but we got Anaheim coming up, and I already know, Homam, you're probably going to be cooking something.
Yeah, for sure. I'm already starting to cook. I took a little break from this. If frogs are running around so much, people are going to be ready for frogs. So you probably will see this in Anaheim, but I am working on other stuff right now. For sure.
Makes sense. All right. Well, thank you very, very much for your time. It was really cool to feature your deck. Unfortunate circumstances, but I'm sure you're going to be right back to the top very soon.
Yeah, I hope so.
All right. Peace.